All right, Griz Nation, we are back. It feels great because we got a W on our side.
Heck
Uh,
yeah.
but but first, guys, I'd like to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you get the podcast at. We greatly appreciate that. Helps us get out into the algorithm and all that jazz that I don't get, but it gets us out there. So make sure you do that. Also, you can get us on Instagram and Twitter at fightonmontana to leave us questions. We also leave it at the eGriz page and stuff like that. So get a hold of us, guys. We want to hear from you. But yeah, Luke, how are you, man?
I am doing well. It's always great to be, get the win, and then it makes Monday a little bit better, especially when you have to go back to work, knowing that you won over the weekend. So
It does. It does. Well, before we get into the recap of UC Davis, guys, we're just going to try to recap and do some Grizz roundup of some sports that are not football, but they are important to us. Uh, Ladies volleyball, they went down to Northern Colorado. They lost 3-1. Pretty close for the first game. Then kind of back and forth. But I believe Northern Colorado is like the defending champions as well. So tough game. Then the ladies went down to Flagstaff. That was a really close. They lost 3-2. But the last match they lost by two points. They are at Dahlberg Arena against Idaho this Thursday at 7 p.m. And then they have Eastern Washington coming to town on Saturday at 2 p.m. So definitely go support them. If you're in Missoula, definitely go support them and cheer on those volleyball people. So it's awesome. Awesome to watch them. I can't make it, but volleyball is amazing. I would never be good at it because I don't think I could jump. I'm pretty white and I cannot jump. I do not have a vertical leap, but that is not a sport that I would be good at.
I enjoy playing a little beach volleyball and stuff.
There you go.
Nice thing is,
Yeah,
though, if you can't make the game, ESPN Plus. It's
exactly.
so nice. You can watch it on your phone or wherever you're at if you got ESPN Plus.
Yep.
Not that we're sponsoring ESPN Plus. It's just nice that we can
No.
get games on all sports wherever we want, anytime.
But if ESPN Plus wants to sponsor us,
Oh yeah,
well, give us a call. Yeah, we'll talk to you about it. That would be awesome. We're not going to turn down sponsorships by any means. Idaho. Let's go to soccer. So the Grizz played Idaho State in Missoula, and they win 1-0 going to the Grizz side. They only had one game that weekend. I believe because they had the Weber State game, which they won 2-1, and so they just continue winning. They have a record of 9-2-3, which they're 3-0-1 in the conference. That's crazy. Win percentage of like 875.
Yeah,
or 875. They play this week, guys. They are Thursday. They are at Northern Arizona. That'll be a tough game. And then they play Greeley, Northern Colorado on Sunday. So they are all these games, like we have always said, they are on ESPN Plus. What's nice on Thursday, that's an 8 p.m. so that you can watch that at night. We can watch them anytime, but that's kind of a nice kind of get yourself into the football mood of watching soccer. So definitely go support them. If you're in Flagstaff or Greeley, go support them too.
man, I can't. Playing football at that elevation is hard enough. Soccer,
Soccer,
like the hardest endurance sport ever. I can't imagine playing soccer.
Well,
It's like,
yeah.
oh my gosh.
I wonder if it's inside or outside. I haven't watched. It's probably in their dome.
It might be in the walk up sky dome. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it very well could be, but still, I mean, yeah, that's whew.
Yeah, would not be fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have. Luke, you want to get into this game? So
heck yeah, let's get into this game. It was
yes. So if you have not known about this game, Grizz go to UC Davis, and they pull off I think it was the game of the week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
yeah,
there was only, a couple. There was a lot of Big Sky teams on buys this week, but yeah, we were. I mean, two ranked opponents.
Yep.
So
I think it was the only two ranked opponent game, and there's like only like 3 Big Sky games. And I think that this next couple of weeks, there's like not very many games because I think every Big Sky team has their bye week in this like 3 week span.
there's a lot of matches coming up right now.
Yeah. So we get the win 31-23 against a UC Davis team that is talented. It was a great game, but Luke, what did you see? What were your thoughts on just what you saw, and then we can kind of break it down by the numbers and then go into offense and defense.
Well, I gotta say, I was impressed with our offensive line play. It definitely feels like it's just improving from week to week. One thing I'll say right away is we saw Hunter McGinnis back in there, number 61.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching him on purpose, and I think he learned his lesson. He was hustling everywhere down the field, running. He's at one point, I saw him run down there and pick our guys up. They're getting tackled. I mean, he is hustling, and he has some good motivation. So we called him out before for what happened. So I wanted to, give him some props, man. That kid's playing hard, and way to step up and ball out like that and play hard and show your team like, hey, I still mean business. So
and to take what he probably got too. From the media and from fans, like that's all. Oh yeah, media crushed him, and I don't think hopefully he wasn't online for any of that because that wouldn't be good.
No.
But yeah, it was good to see. I saw him like run down the field and like flip over a guy.
yeah. I mean, just good on him for turning around and just busting ass out there and doing the right thing. So I'm sure that's got to inspire his teammates too and show the rest of them. But overall, I thought the offensive line play was really good. Their blocking is really good. And I mean, they really respond to Clifton. And so,
yeah, they do. They do.
Like I said before, I think Vidlac is a better passer, but I'm on the Clifton train now. I mean, he's got the team inspired, it feels like. And yeah, he does miss a few passes, but at the same time, there's other factors that he has. I mean, the way he can run the ball and stuff. And now that first drive when we just marched it down the field, I was pumped. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to score. And as he's running, he's carrying it like a basket. I'm like, you don't carry the ball that way.
Yeah.
This guy comes up and just does what you're taught, slaps the ball right out.
Yeah.
Now later on in the game when he was running, if you notice, he's carrying it much more high and tight. So someone was coaching him up on the sideline. I think you'll never see him carrying out there like a bread basket again. But that just it sucked because man, that was we were driving right down the field and it was. I think he thought, oh, I'm walking in.
Oh yeah,
it was the feeling I got, like, oh, I got this, and that guy comes up from behind you, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, good thing it was farther down where the field position didn't hurt them as well.
Yeah.
And then the defense responded that next series and just shut down. I think it was the first two possessions that UC Davis had. The defense, especially the linebackers, denying their crossing routes and there's those slants and just hitting the ball down really deterred them. And they had a lot of passing yards, but it really kind of deterred them from getting things started right away.
Yeah.
And so I was really proud about that. But yeah, you got to give it to McDowell and then Fonts. My goodness gracious, those catches were absolutely amazing. If you do not know, he won Big Sky Player of the Week.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. 5 catches, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns, and most of that was, I believe, wasn't most of that like the second half.
Yeah, I mean he was balling out.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it Fonts that made the catch where he fell and then? Or was that? Yeah, that was Fonts.
Yep, in the
balls and the thing's loose and he grabs the whole. I mean, that is just. I mean, the concentration on that. It's like.
Well, just the one that surprised me was the one where he went up, got it, and just like over two guys, just like went up and got that. I was like, oh, he is
did the old Randy Moss.
Yep.
Like, yeah, he was just having a game. Like it was. That's what I love seeing that though, like letting these kids ball out and stuff, and the offense looked like they were having fun out there.
Oh yeah, they were going.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that you didn't see. And then Gilman with that run, holy cow!
Oh my god!
85 yards.
That was the one where where McGinnis was running and did that somersault thing.
Yep.
So I got a funny story about that play right there with Gilmore. Where he comes around and does the huge run. So this weekend, a friend of mine who actually graduated from University of Montana got married, and so there's a whole bunch of us Griz fans. I mean, we got Griz fans from Havre, Glasgow, Whitefish, Missoula, all at this wedding, and we're watching the game on our phones. So while that play's happening, his daughter is up singing karaoke at the reception. And she finishes right as Gilman scores, and we all go nuts. I mean, we're screaming and yelling, and she thought all the cheering was for her. It was so cute. We looked at her like, oh, she thinks it's her. So we just kept cheering and like made it think it was her too. But we all went nuts because of that play. But then cheered her on too, and she'll never know because no one's ever going to tell her. She's like, I think she's 6 years old, and she just was like, "This is the greatest thing ever." The whole crowd's just going crazy over me, high-fiving and stuff.
That is awesome.
It was a cool moment that the song ended right as he scored that touchdown. So,
that is awesome.
It was just fun, yeah, fun. I mean, it was a cool reception because we're all watching the game. We're trying to be into the cake weddings and things like that are the goings on, and just see people looking up at each other from across the thing and giving thumbs up and giving touchdowns, things like that. As we're all trying to watch the game at this wedding reception. But I mean, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to watch the bye week, and then that's when you put your wedding. Not
right. Who has an October wedding? That's just
especially when you graduate. But the thing, so the great thing was, after we win the game, the bride grabs the mic and she goes, "Those of you who don't know, the Griz won," and like everybody went nuts again. So she was on board too. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I have to agree with you. It started out with a lot of running, but they did use some of the crossing routes and the slants. And what I was really impressed with is the screen passes, where that's where I think this next week the Griz could really take advantage of the Vandals, is those screen passes, where I think Eastern Washington really got them on those when they played them. So really, really watch out for the screen passes this week. Something that could really, really go well for us. And then just the turnover in the red zone was kind of it. I was like, oh no, what how are we going to respond to this? Because we were doing so well.
The second one, you mean?
Yeah. Well, the first one with McDowell, but then the second one too. Yeah. But then, we end the play. Why can't we end this just bothers me. Why can't we end a game with the ball? Like, why do we always have to give it back to the other side? Like, literally, we can't get a first. Like that's the one thing that pisses me off, is we cannot get a first down to save our lives when it matters. Like, it just, it was, and it was they ran, I believe, the same running play almost three times, I believe, 3 times in a row. Same different side.
3 times in a row, yeah.
Different side.
I get he's trying to bleed the clock, but I agree. It's like, especially with McDowell, and I mean, he's like this giant running back, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe let him go out on at least first or second down, see if he can get some yards and get us close to the marker. Because we get a first down there, game's over.
And it just why do we have to have that anticipation where it's killing me inside, where I'm like, oh crap, they got the ball. Oh crap, they're making going down the field with it. It just really, really, really just, and then the unsportsmanlike I have a question about those. What are you like? I did not see them. I think, and they didn't show them. I was looking for one that Braxton Hill did. So I never really saw
the one Braxton. If you watch close, you can see him talking to the coaches. Like, I think it was way far away from the play, and I'm thinking he's like, I just pushed the guy. I think what happened was he didn't know the play was over.
Oh, okay.
Was like still, because our guys play until they know the thing's over, and I think that's what happened. As far as like Bobby's, he talked about it at QB Club. We're not supposed to say much, so
it looks like he would like, and from this,
it was warranted.
Okay,
definitely. So
he was very, very pissed off, and he was talking to the side ref a lot.
It was his first one ever. I did not know that. Was kind of surprised to find that out, but yeah. if you want to hear things like that, join the QB club. You can find out more. But yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So offensively, let's just go through the numbers. So I got the numbers here. So running guys, we had a 181 yards. That's 4.6 average, which is awesome to see.
Awesome.
UC Davis had 76 yards with a 3 average. Passing, we passed for 243 yards, 7.6 average. UC Davis did get us on that 359 yards of
That
passing.
was our best passing game, wasn't it?
Yep, I believe it was. Well, we still averaged the same amount than UC Davis as well. So total 424 for our Griz, 435 for UC Davis.
Yep,
the penalties, 7 for us for 71 yards, 4 for 25 yards for UC Davis. The time was really close. It was 20 some seconds, 30 some seconds. 30-14 for us, 29-46 for them. This was the killer though. We were 9 for 19 and third down. That's one of the keys. I think that we finally solved getting short plays where they were a lot better. They weren't third and long. And then UC Davis 6 for 15. One thing that was really interesting is we flipped the field on them really, really well. Our punt return average was 23.
Yeah.
Their punt return average was -6.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was negative.
-6.
Yeah, our special teams was killing it out there. When I don't understand what Hawkins was thinking when they did that fake punt. Like that surprised me. I was like, whoa, I'm glad our guys covered it so well. But like it didn't, like the play ran previous, and then I was just like, it didn't make sense to me why he runs the fake punt there. Unless it's like one of these things where his special teams reads it and they decide on it. But I mean, I doubt that. I mean, I don't know. That was kind of wonky. I didn't think they should run that there. But hey, I was glad they did, and I'm glad we stopped it and took advantage.
Yeah, the kick return average was 34 for us and 20 for them. So, we did get to have that win on special teams as well. So
I really thought Bergen was going to bust one. Like there was a few times it was just like
he was close.
That one where he caught and the guy came, he had this like kick step run.
Yep.
Cool as hell. I was like, oh my God. I mean, that kid is just like oozing full of talent. I mean, just
he is.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't bust one this week against Idaho, just because like it feels like they're getting that close, it's like, oh man, they're gonna, if Idaho decides that they want to punt to him.
See, but I don't think if you punt to him, like you're just asking for something to happen.
I wonder if the coaches are kind of cocky enough, or the X kind of cocky enough, where I'm like, oh, we can cover him, we got this, and kick him and find out is what I say.
Please. I love watching it. I just love anytime. It doesn't matter. It's like he's one of those talents where you're like, okay, he caught the ball. Okay, what? You just know something could happen. Yeah. It's just amazing. So.
It reminds me of the old TO. Get your popcorn ready.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Oh yeah.
He's very Jerry Louis McGee. Yeah, where he was like that as well.
Old school, old Levander Seegers, man. He used to be that way. LB just we've had a lot of, it's crazy over the years how many good returners we've had. I mean, Mariani, I mean,
Flowers
on the list. Flower, I mean, all the Flowers. I mean, it's like we just keep plugging these guys in. It's just amazing. So
well, and Jamal, I think it was Jamal Adams, wasn't he? He was a kick returner, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
He was a good one as well. So, let's get into defense. The penalties kind of elongated some of those drives. That first couple of drives where they got into it, where if we didn't have those penalties, it wouldn't have been close for a while. So it gave them momentum. I really, really liked seeing Riley Wilson played really well.
He was playing. So did you notice, like, he doesn't wear knee pads? Like,
no,
I was like, man, like as a linebacker, I mean,
I thought it was you were supposed to.
I thought you had to have something in there, but he's got him pulled up like halfway up his legs. I'm like, boy, that's I mean, it just like maybe it makes him run faster, he feels like. But I was surprised that like the refs were getting to let him get away with that, because I thought you had at least have him pulled down and have something in there.
Yeah.
Like even the kickers usually have to have something, but I don't know. I was surprised about that. It's just one of those little things I was just like, huh, that's different.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I
so
was
glad
going,
that he's back and he looks like he is healthy.
yeah, because he gives us that pressure, that ability to get pressure, which was really interesting. We didn't have any sacks again this game.
So that made sense to me. Like if you
Yeah,
watch Hastings,
he gets that out quick.
he wasn't doing big dropbacks. He's
No,
getting that ball up so fast. We didn't have no time to get back there and get a
yeah,
sack. It was just boom, boom, throw, boom, boom. It was
yep,
decision making was so fast. It was like there's just no way that you can get back there. I mean, if he was doing 7-step drops, then yeah, you have time to get back there. But he was getting that ball out
yeah.
fast.
Well, and I think that was the key too for them is don't let the Grizz get their guys on you, and especially with him with
Mhm.
his ability this year to turn the ball over. I think that they were trying to plan, hey, let's get it out of his hands. They did not have Lars, or I think Lane Larson or whatever,
Yeah. Well, and
which,
we knew that last week that he wasn't
yeah,
going to be in there. And
yep. And
yeah,
that was honestly that would have and I'm not going to say it would have changed the game, but that would have been a dynamic where it would have changed kind of some of the things that we are probably doing, just because he is such a good talent
oh yeah,
that kind of expands their playbook. Where yeah, they just did not have him and they were one dimensional.
yeah.
They were going to throw the ball.
If he would have been playing, it definitely would have made a difference.
Yeah.
But that's part of football. I mean, we all
Yep.
have to deal with injuries. I mean, look at our D line; they've been really injured. I did notice Cashmere was back playing on the D
Yep. I
line.
saw that too.
Not a lot of plays, but hey, he's getting back there, which is
Yeah,
great because we need all the help we can get just for depth.
exactly.
Line. So good to
You
see him.
know, one of the things, and you tell me if I'm crazy, man. I'm getting worried with the penalties, just because we're averaging so many.
Yeah,
Because if you look at, and the unsportsmanlike conducts are very, very unorthodox of what Bobby does.
yeah.
Um, and so, but with the amount of penalties, there's an illegal substitution that basically negated an interception.
So I think I can talk about this. They talked about it at QB Club because a lot of us didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
So I can talk about this because it's the rule. So basically, I didn't know this. On that play before, you see the Davis guy catch the ball and he goes out of bounds. Well, the
Mhm.
rule states, according to what Bobby was saying, that when their player goes out of bounds on their sideline, the defense has to have a chance to substitute. And so our guys
Oh.
are substituting, and the ref, usually you see him run up there and hold the quarterback. You see him do
Mhm.
that like all over in the NFL and college.
Yeah.
They stop him. They didn't do that. They were supposed to. So it
Hmm.
got our guys exchanging, and they weren't hustling. He showed us some film. I was like, that's why they weren't hustling, because that's the rule. We are supposed to get a chance to sub, and the refs let them snap the ball when they shouldn't have, and
Ah.
caused that penalty. So I mean, that's
Hmm.
the rule. We were doing the rule correctly. They didn't do what they were supposed to do, and so I mean, we're supposed to get that chance to change
Yeah.
when that happens, apparently, and they didn't let us. And so I'm glad Bobby didn't get another penalty because I would have just, if I was the coach, I'd have been livid again,
Oh, yeah.
blowing up. So
If you get two unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, you're out for the next half. Is it next half or next game?
I don't know. I'm not sure how I think it works
I
kind
think
of like the targeting thing.
I
Like
thought it was too,
first
and I think that's a half, isn't it?
you get the whole game, but if you're in the second half, you take the next half of the next game, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's like when it comes to penalties, like the penalties that bother me the most are like when O linemen or receivers are jumping off sides on the offense.
well, we had one of those where they negated it because they declined it because they got like a 30-yard pass down the.
So like
Yeah.
the offside stuff like that, that's just mental stuff.
Yeah.
Playing hard stuff where they might call you a little late hit or something. That stuff happens. Like I'd rather see
Yeah.
guys playing hard and stuff and absorbing some of those penalties. But you're absolutely right. We need to clean it up because
Yeah,
we
we're
can't
averaging way too many penalties.
70 extra yards to the opposing team
Yeah.
in the game. That's the length of the dang field. I mean, that's putting them in almost in the red zone.
Well, yeah, we're averaging 59.5 yards a game in penalties, and you can't be successful when you're giving the opponent that much.
Although Ferris State's the most penalized team in the Division II, and they're pretty good. So
Have they? I haven't checked. Have they lost yet?
no. So the weekend before I think we said they won 78-6 this last weekend. They won like 38-10 or something like that.
Goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, I think since we are only like a point off, I think I won, just to let you know.
Did you really?
24-21, and you were 24-20.
Didn't Davis end up with 20 though?
No, they ended up with 23.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You did win.
So,
when they had 20, I'm like, hold on to that 20. Yeah. No, you got me by a point.
I got you by a point, but that when we both said that, I was like, oh man, that's gonna be a close one.
Yeah. Well, we were both on the same page in that game, so I guess
Yeah.
I've got mine written down already from earlier today. I was putting
I need to still write mine down. But yeah, you want to get into Idaho?
Yeah, sure. I mean, just I guess wrap up
Final thoughts. Yeah.
the Davis game. I felt like the whole team played really hard.
Yeah.
Braxton Hill is still killing it out there.
He's on a tear. Holy cow.
He is. He is just, I mean, he is, the game has slowed down for him and he is getting everywhere. He made adjustments where he wasn't back on pass coverage, isn't backing up as far. He was staying where he needed to be. And I mean, that kid is playing out of his mind. And I think we're just going to keep seeing him get better each week.
So let me ask you a question that was asked to Bobby.
What?
Do you think that we're dropping back our linebackers and we're playing more in the middle and not rushing? Because that was shot down so quick in the press conference today.
We have been.
Oh yeah, we have been.
We have.
Like, I was just like,
Bobby hears that and he feels like they're giving the stuff away to the opposing team.
Oh yeah.
And that's why he shuts that stuff down because he feels like they're when they ask questions like that, they're trying to give away his game plan. Yeah. And that's why he gets mad and will just, I don't know. You tell me.
I was like, whoa, that was interesting. So definitely go check that out.
Yeah, it's he gets. Maybe Coulter did something wrong. So
maybe
kind of mad at Coulter. It seemed
Coulter's in the doghouse, man.
Yeah, we're definitely putting them back there because that's where we've gotten burned so much is like right over the center and stuff. And so getting into Idaho next, but I'm glad we're doing that because they like to do that right over there in the middle. So if our linebackers like Hill playing the way he's playing, we can shut that tight end down.
Cool. And you could tell that was happening because we were the first two drives that they had. Our linebackers were back there swatting passes away.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to do that this next week against Idaho. We're gonna have to.
But overall, I think Davis is a great road win.
Yep.
It's hard to win on the road, especially when it's 90. I mean, look, you see up showing the crowd, everybody's just, oh my God. And so
did you see Kyle Hansen on the sideline? No. Oh my goodness. So definitely I feel so bad for him, but he posted a picture of him. He looks like lobster face, like so bad because he's on the field. And I guess on the field it was like 100 and some degrees because of the heat.
Burning up down
there. Man, I felt bad for him. So it'll be interesting this week to see him on the sideline, see if he's recovered.
Well, that's what impressed me. Like I didn't see our guys looking like they were tired or like overheated or anything. So they must have hydrated really well. And I mean, didn't see cramping. It was just I was impressed with the heat and how they took it because big difference from practicing up in Montana where it was kind of chilly last week.
Oh yeah, well, and definitely it was a good game where put up or shut up, right? We were kind of saying that last week where we got to prove this. This is the season, right?
That was
you had to have that win. You had to have that win.
It was a must win.
Yep.
Playoff game almost for us, really, and we took it. So we needed that. Now
we do.
We talked about those 4. Well, we got one of them.
We got one of them. We need at least
next
2.
week is another one that we have the opportunity. I mean, think about the opportunity we got. Number 3 in the country right now.
Yep.
For the little brown Stein.
Yep.
I mean, that's freaking awesome. What an opportunity we have to go get that thing from him.
Exactly. Well, and I want to talk to you about that. Like, just look at, and we'll go over like at the end of the Idaho, go over like what do we have left and stuff like that because if we get a win against Idaho, it totally changes everything.
Oh, it changes everything because if you so we're let me look here. So the polls today
10-16.
Yeah, they've got us at 10 in the coaches, 16 in the media poll.
Yeah. So I'd put us probably kind of in the middle, like 13 or 12 if you average those out.
So if we beat the number 3 team in the country, that's gonna put us at number 6.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, in the Conference Bowl, we might be like 5, and then media will probably be 8. You know, just because media hates Montana for some reason.
Well, and honestly, you know, if you look at how we are playing, though, like there's not a lot of people that I think that people outside of Montana probably have us in their top 25. I've seen us, you know, anywhere from 20 to 23 to 24, which, you know, how we were playing, I don't think that they're crazy,
No,
but
and
you know, that this proved that we're a good team and we can win on the road. And I think that they are slowly getting us back to where we probably should be, is in the teens, probably.
It helped seeing NAU beat Weber State this last weekend.
Oh man, and they didn't just like close, they slocked them. Oh my goodness.
NAU might be for real, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah,
who they play next? Do they have a bye?
Oh, here, I got it up right here. Just 1 second. They just, I mean, NAU just keeps getting better. So
wasn't it like 20?
They got Portland State at home this weekend.
Ooh, that is going to be a good game.
Yeah. So
I think that is going to be, because Portland State's so off and on.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see really NAU.
So it'll be interesting and see that game. I mean, yeah, we'll see. So one other thing I wanted to bring up before we get into Idaho that just was new today. The media poll is going to be considered this year for the first time in the playoff committee, which I thought was interesting. So if you hadn't seen that, that came out today that they're going to be looking at the media poll as well. So
that'd be interesting. I don't know why they did that though.
I don't know either. I'm not sure. So they're getting away from some other metrics they looked at and are doing that, which I mean for us, I'm like, okay, we're 6 point. I mean, usually there's not that big a spread. It's a 6 point spread for us. Usually it's a couple here or there. So, but again, it'll all take care of itself.
Yeah.
We just go
keep winning.
Yeah, keep doing keep winning, and it'll just take care of itself.
Exactly. So let's get into this Idaho game. So to this point, guys, let's meet Idaho 5-1, 3-0 in the Big Sky. Who'd they play? So they played Lamar, beat Lamar 42-17. Played Nevada just creamed Nevada 33-6.
Nevada sucks. They're a terrible Mountain West.
They are a terrible, terrible team. But then that next week, which was really interesting, they had Cal 17-0.
They did.
And Cal stormed back to beat them 31-17, which was really surprising that had happened. So that's their only loss is to an FBS team. They beat Sac State 36-27. They beat Eastern Washington in a showdown that was really interesting to watch, 44-36.
Was that game in Idaho or in Eastern?
No, it was in Eastern.
It was Eastern, okay.
Yep. And then Cal Poly, they beat 42-14. So, you know, if you look at that, they're averaging, 37, 38 plus points a game. I probably around that. If you take that 17 out, it's probably a little bit lower than that. But
they're kind of good at offense.
They're good at offense. Guys, and just to kind of go down the numbers for them, points per game, like I said, 35.67. I think that 17 against Cal kind of hurt them. Opponents are averaging 21.83 points. This is really interesting. They're averaging 57 first downs on running and 60 on passing. So they're pretty balanced.
Yeah.
238 yards on passing, 204 yards on rushing. They have 14 touchdowns on rushing, 12 on passing. So very, very, very even. They're averaging about 22 kick return average. Punt return, they're averaging about 8, which really surprises me because they have Jermaine Jackson back there doing kick return and punt return, which is really interesting. But then again, they don't really punt that much, and we'll go into that. Field goals are 9 of 10. Penalties, they are right 3 yards above us with penalties. They're averaging 56.17 yards. This is the crazy stat, and I think Luke and I had talked about this, is they just hold on to the ball. They're averaging 33 plus minutes with the ball, and that's just a killer.
Yeah, if everybody remembers last year's game, it felt like when they played us, we couldn't get our hands on the dang ball. They just had these long, sustained drives, and it was just like, oh my gosh, we're running out of time here. So you think about that, and then you think about the rule change this year.
Oh yeah,
doesn't stop on the first down. So they are. I mean, that their goal is to just keep that ball and keep in their offense's hand and not let your offense touch the field.
It's like the Wisconsin of basketball. Third down percentage, they're about 44%. Fourth down, they're 66%. They fumbled the ball quite a bit, 14 times. And then red zone, they are amazing, 26 of 28. And then the red zone, 19 of those have been touchdowns.
Yeah.
So they are, I believe they are the number one offense in the red zone. So just some Big Sky. So they're the number 3 scoring offense, number 3 scoring defense. They're the number 1 passing defense, the number 5 rushing defense, number 1 in time of possession, number 2 overall offense and defense. Per the Big Sky.
They're something else.
They're a very well-rounded team.
But I'm not scared.
Crazier things have happened.
I mean, they have an amazing offense.
Yes.
They have weapons everywhere. And one thing I noticed watching film on when teams think they have everybody accounted for, like all the receivers and stuff, they're going to hit you over the middle from their tight end.
Yep.
Or they're going to run the wheel with the running back out of the backfield, and they're going to hit him down the field. So, again, this is another game where on defense, you have to know who you got.
Exactly.
And do your job. As I keep hearing the players say, do your 111th.
111th. Yep.
We need everybody to do their 111th on defense. If we do that, we can slow this offense down. And the key is going to be taking away some of those possessions from them. If we can do that, we have a really good opportunity to take this game.
Well, and the one thing that kind of worries me is you saw it in the UC Davis game where there was a mix-up at the goal line where I think it was Jackson and
I saw that.
Garrett Fouch or somebody, they got mixed up and it was a wide open pass.
Yeah, and Graves yelled at Jackson, like you seemed like, what are you doing? Like that was your guy, So again, him call. I mean, I was glad he called him out. It's like, do your 11th. We're all doing it. That was you. It had that. So
so that's going to be really interesting this week, just because this team is so talented. If you give them time and you give them the opportunity, they have the players that they're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So let's go into a little bit of a breakdown of players.
Sure.
So Giovanni McCoy, I think wasn't he the Jerry Rice award winner last year?
Jerry Rice award, and I'd have voted for him.
Yeah, amazing talent.
He was unbelievable last year as a freshman. So
number 5 QB in the Big Sky, but he is the number 3 in total offense. So kind of weird stat to have number 3 total offense, but number 5 big QB, but that's just the Big Sky. 91 of 146. 1,306 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's averaging about 217 yards passing in average, but he's also averaging about 29 yards rushing.
If we get the opportunity, we need to hit him hard and make his day not fun. That's going to be a key. If we can do that, they're probably going to do like saw what Hastings did and try to get the ball out quick so that we don't get to him. But if we can get to him, and even if it's right when he's getting the ball out, we need to hit him hard so that he knows he's playing the Montana Grizzlies.
Exactly. Make it uncomfortable for him so he has to think about it. That's going to be a huge thing. Also, they have the number 2 running back in the Big Sky, Anthony Woods, 99 carries, 662 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns. I think that he leads the Big Sky in scoring as well.
Yeah. That's number 5. He's dang good.
110 yards and averaging a game. He's a good talent.
He looks really good on tape too. I mean, he's you got to be sure tackler on him.
Yep.
Wrap him up. So we got to make sure we're wrapping up good on him this weekend.
If he has open space, you're not catching him. So we've got to really get on him. Their backup quarterback or backup running back, Nick Romano, is a pretty good one as well. 52 carries, 311 yards running, and 2 touchdowns. He's averaging about 51 on average. So I think he's just kind of in there to pass protect a little bit as well as just kind of spell him.
Just
Anthony
spell Woods and stuff when he's tired from running so much.
So yeah, he's a good backup to have. So, and then you got the wide receivers, right? So if you stop all those guys, if you stop the quarterback, stop the running back, you still have to deal with Hayden Hatton.
Yep.
Which is, I believe he's the number 3 in the Big Sky.
Yeah, I think he was like preseason All Big Sky, and I think he had an All-American honor too in preseason. So
yeah, crazy. 35 receptions, 430 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's averaging about 71 yards a game. And then Jermaine Jackson does not get the attention as Hayden Hatton does, but still very, very dangerous.
300 yards this season already. So
yeah, 20 receptions, 300 yards. And like I said earlier, he's their punt return and kick return specialist as well. So one of the things that we got to talk about. And
you forgot a guy.
What's that?
Tara's trainer, number 0. He's their other one. So
yep. And you don't look at those guys, and then you look at their tight ends, right? Yeah. That they use so well. That it's just pick your poison, right?
They're good at distributing the ball.
Yeah.
And getting it to all their playmakers. So that's something that we saw last year, and they're still doing a good job of it.
Yep.
Again, so our own defense, everybody's gonna have to do their 111th and do their assignment and not make dumb mistakes, because when we make dumb mistakes, these guys will beat you on it. They'll find those holes.
Well, we've got to play like we can, right? We haven't played our best yet this year. If we're going to want to beat this team, we're going to have to play our best. Yeah. And we're going to have to see what we can do playing a really, really good team. Yeah, last week was a good start. Now we've got to take that next step.
And like Fonts was saying at the presser today,
yeah.
I don't think Bobby wanted him talking about it, but he was saying we got a bad taste in our mouth after last year.
Oh, yeah. You should.
We had that game, and I mean, it was 2 unfortunate picks from Lucas. Otherwise, I mean, I felt like we were in it the whole time.
Oh yeah, Bergen's amazing catch. That's all I remember that game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was amazing. the fact that they took the little brown Steinbach away from us in our house. I mean, nothing would be better. I mean, right now it's kind of fun playing as the underdog. Got nothing to lose. We're going into the damn Kibbe Dome to try to go kick their butt and take the little brown Steinbach and beat the number 3 team in the nation. You do that, and then all of a sudden the haters out there are going to be going, hey, maybe the Montana Grizzlies are pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. Once that Luke and I both kind of brought up off there is their punter, Ricardo Chavez. They are not on the punting list for the Big Sky for some reason. I think that we found out right because they're only punting 11 times this year.
We were trying to make sure that was right. It looks like they only punted 11 times.
So yeah, Ricardo has 7 of those punts, and then another guy has 4 of those punts. But
so imagine if we could make them punt, 4 or 5 times. That's like half. That'd be so impressive. So
that would be really impressive, right? So 7 punts. He's averaging about 51.71 average. His long is 70 yards. Good Lord. He's got 4 punts over 50 plus yards. 0 of his punts have been blocked. He's also 9 of 10 from field goal range.
Boy, I'd like to change that block punt stat. That would be cool.
I know, right? Or the field goals, right? So he's only missed 1, and that was from 40 to 49 yards. He's 1 for 1 from 50 to 59, 3 for 3 from 30 to 39, and 4 for 4 from 20 to 29. So 11 punts. That is a crazy stat. When I saw that, I was like, that can't be right?
It's easier to punt and kick when you're in dome.
Well, true.
Although they really haven't played that much.
They haven't played that much. I think they've only had like 1 home game, right?
I think I heard something that they only have 4 home games this year.
That is nuts.
Whole season. I think it's still dealing with that crossover when they transferred down,
Yeah,
and lost those FBS games, and just having to pick out and get games where they could in FCS. So I think that's part of the reason.
Well, I think that they had some budget troubles too, where they had to get those games.
Yeah.
So
but I heard old Coach X got it sold out this weekend. That's what I heard.
We'll see if they show up.
If that the Kibbe Dome sold out this weekend. So,
well, Montana's coming. That's why.
yeah.
Their defense, their defense is good, guys. Their leading tackler, linebacker Trey Thomas, averaging about 35 tackles. He's got 1 sack, 2.5 tackles for loss, 1 QB hurry. Another linebacker, Matthias Bertram, 29 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss. And then they've got 2 DBs that are leading them in tackles with Tommy McCormick with 29 tackles and Marcus Harris with 25 tackles. He's also got a 1/2 sack. So very good defense.
So the guy on defense you haven't mentioned that actually watching the film worries me is number 44. It's here. Keyshawn James Newby, I think is his name.
Yep.
Yeah. That kid is fast off the ball.
Yeah.
And our tackles are going to have their hands full.
Is he the defensive end?
Yeah, he's their defensive end, number 44. That kid, he's got such a good burst off the ball. I mean, I was watching him going, damn.
Yeah.
He's impressive. And so, I mean, if I'm noticing that, I'm pretty sure our coaches will. So, wherever 44 is at, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have like Evan Schaefer over there chipping him too. We're definitely going to want to give our guys a hand with him, because the fact that of his speed off the ball, and we just don't need him in the backfield wrecking havoc. So now,
or just run towards the sideline too, because they stretch him out a little bit.
The one good thing because he's so aggressive, you might see us just let him go. We're using some of our RPO plays where Clifton could overrun him, and we could bust a big run on him.
Bust a huge run.
Also, their defense runs a lot of zone, where they're turning them back, getting way off the field. And so just watching them, I really think Clifton and the way he can run the ball, really that could be the one like kryptonite to their defense is the fact that we've got big Clifton out there, running up the field and causing havoc. So, and then too, we got Eli Gilman, and I mean, our offense is starting to kind of click and get an identity. And there's some of these things that we're doing that I think could really cause problems for Idaho. And help us.
I totally agree with you, because if you really look at that tape against Eastern Washington, that they did not have their starting quarterback, so they had a backup quarterback, and the backup quarterback ran a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of the screen plays, a lot of those fast runs towards the sidelines as well.
I really think you could see Clifton be our leading rusher. Like,
you could in this game.
He could have a huge 100-yard plus game rushing, I think.
Yep. Yeah. Right when I was watching the Eastern Washington game, I was like, you're not going to probably see Sam Vidlach this game at all, just because of the way that they're going to play this game.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that also with doing that, with running the ball, you're going to be taking their offense off the field. And if they can't have the ball, then that's basically switching what they did to us last year to them.
Well, and if we start, if we get Clifton out there busting these runs, what they're going to start doing is putting 9 down in the box. They're going to keep bringing, and that's what's going to, again, run opens up the pass. Next, running a play action, and we're hitting Fonts or Bergen down the field for a big play. So, I mean, they have holes. Like they're not this holes. Nope. They definitely have holes, and I think that's where we can really take advantage of them is our offense.
Exactly.
Again, on the defense, we got to do our 111th. And special teams, we need to have a game like last week where we're just dominating the special teams battle.
Yep. So are those your keys?
Yeah, I think one of my biggest keys in the game is letting Clifton run the ball. Making their defense put 9 in the box to stop our run game. And then once they start doing that, boom, we're going to catch them over the top for a big play.
Yeah.
And then on defense, do your 111th.
Yep.
Do your job. Don't try to do anything else. Do your job. And if you do that, we're going to win.
So I just wrote down here, they're able to score fast, so we've got to limit big plays and keep our defense off the field. We've got to get pressure on the quarterback and make it really uncomfortable for him. We've got to win. We've got to flip the field position and then win the turnover battle, limit their number of plays. Just because, and I wrote down here, Eastern Washington was able to run on them. It's going to be McDowell's game and the running game that really puts us on the map for this game.
We need to do what they want to do to us. We need to
exactly
flip that script on them and just keep them off the field and take over. If we win, if we win the time of possession battle, we win this game.
Yeah,
guaranteed we win this game.
Yep,
time of possession battle because that's what they're trying to do.
Okay, any last thoughts, man?
I do have a cool story about the
Brownstein
that I thought I'd share. So back in 2000, with Joe Glenn, we hadn't played Idaho in a while because they moved to FBS, right?
Yep.
And so we went over there and played them. And actually, I think we had to play them in Pullman because they were working on the Kibbe Dome, or it was something.
Oh, really?
So, anyways, we beat them, and Joe's got the Brownstein because we hadn't had it in a long time. We finally won it back, and he opens it up to see what's inside of it, and he pulls out this piece of paper, and on the paper it says, "I'm going to abbreviate it, but it says F the Griz." And he reads it and throws it up, throws it on the floor, and we were all just freaking out and stuff. But it was really cool.
Can you still open it?
Oh yeah,
because I asked this to.
As far as I know, you can. According to Bobby, they've tried to put liquid in it and it leaks.
See, and that's what I was like wondering. I was like, I wonder if anyone's tried to drink from it.
Yeah, the story is that people have and it leaks.
So, oh man.
But you
should be able to put some liquid in there.
It's an old rivalry, like there's some of I think our newer, younger Griz fans that are like, why is this big deal Idaho? Well, for years, up until about 96 when Boise and the Vandals moved to FBS.
This was our rival.
between the Cats and the Vandals, that was it. Yeah. These were big games. This little Brownstein game is a big deal. There's a lot of old Griz fans that some hate them more than there's a lot of Griz fans where people thought Eastern, we used to hate Eastern. That was good. Eastern's not our rival.
No,
the Vandals are. And there's some Griz fans that just hate Idaho. They hate the Cats.
Well, yeah. Well, and if you look at it, and not to say that the Cats aren't our rival, but for a long time that game wasn't close.
No.
And I hope I piss off the Cats for saying that. But you got to be honest. For how many years? 25, 26 years we beat you. That's not a rivalry when it doesn't go back and forth. It is a rivalry, but those games, I've heard some of the stories of the Idaho games from people way back when, and they were nasty.
Oh yeah, they were nasty. That was
very bad,
nasty stuff. So, and the thing is Bobby and our coaching staff, they know the tradition of this. And like Fawn said today, there's a bad taste in their mouth in the locker room. Yeah. And there's nothing better than going back over to their house and doing what they did to you and taking that Brownstein back.
Yeah.
And showing out, especially because we haven't even talked about this. Games on ESPN2 this weekend.
I know, right?
It's huge. 8:30 ESPN2, 8:30 Mountain Time. ESPN2, freaking in front of the nation. Great recruiting tool. We go out there and kick their ass. Man, that's going to be huge for us in recruiting and everything.
I wonder if it's still on ESPN Plus, though. Probably not. Son of a gun! I'm gonna have to find somewhere to watch this game.
So if you have ESPN Plus,
I
think you get the other games too.
I don't know.
I've got mine's hooked up to my YouTube TV too, so I think I get both. So
son of a gun! I might have to.
But those of you that think it's gonna be on local TV, it is not. It is on ESPN2 national broadcast, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So
it's at 8:30. Holy crap!
That's
awesome for me.
9:30. 8:30. Yeah, so that's 7:30 because they're over. I think they're over in Pacific time over there. I'm not sure if they're.
Are they really?
Well, Moscow's right on the border of Washington.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
So,
crap.
It's them and Pullman are 10 miles apart right there.
Wow,
it's right there. So
I always forget that for some reason.
Yeah, they're right across the border. But I just
8:30. That's awesome for me because my kids are all asleep. I can just do whatever I want then.
Well, and my wife and kids, they watch with me and watch me yell at the TV and stuff.
See, I tried doing that with the Cat game last year, and it was just it did not go well. No, man, it was not a good one to watch with the kids.
But
So.
this is going to be fun. I mean, how cool is it that we're going there? It's supposed to be sold out. It's going to be on ESPN too. It'd be cool if it was in Washington Griz, but hey, let's go in there, beat their ass, take that Stein back. I'd want nothing more than at the end of the game watching Bobby holding up that Stein and passing it on to the team as they go sing the fight song.
Exactly, man. Oh, that's gonna be so. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm getting excited.
I'm fired up, man. I am.
Oh man. So I wanted to go into the schedule. So, I know you can't count your chickens before the hatch, right? But if you win this game against Idaho, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 games left, right?
Yep.
And you've got games against you get a bye
we get a bye right after Idaho.
Yep. You go to you have Northern Colorado at home, which that's a setup game for the next week where you have Sacramento State at home.
Yeah, we can't overlook Northern Colorado.
No.
They almost beat Weber. I don't know what Weber is right now, but you can't overlook them, and we just need to kick the hell out of them in Griz.
But then you've got, Sac State, and then you've got Portland State before
Sac State's at home, right?
It's at home, yeah.
That's good. Okay, I thought
so. And it's at 6 p.m. too.
Yeah, another night game.
Night game.
Night games this year.
And then Portland State's at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So you win this Vandal game, and it totally flips what we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
On its head, where you win 1, 2, 3 games, and you're looking at a pretty good seed.
Yeah. We beat the Vandals. I mean, that puts us. I mean, it's going to put us up in that top 5, I think, in the nation.
You would, yeah.
And then the thing is then we have the opportunity to go beat the Cats at the end of the season if we take care of the rest of these teams.
Yep.
We'll still probably be number 2, and then you might at that point you might have number 4 versus number 2 or something like that. I mean, I know we're looking ahead, but look at the opportunity we have. Is what we're trying to say is like this game is huge. It's another must. I mean, if it's not necessarily a must win, but
it's not a must win. Yeah.
If we win this, it sure flips the narrative of this whole season.
It does. Like, after the Northern Arizona game, rightly so, we were like, oh my gosh, right?
Yeah, we played like crap in that. I mean,
Idaho State, we play a little bit better, not great. We only win by 8. And then this last game, you kind of see some jumps up where you could see, okay, they're getting a little bit better. They're finding themselves.
That's the key. We're seeing that improvement. That gradual improvement. And that's usually what Bobby Houck teams are known for is as the season goes on, they keep getting better and better and better. And that's what I want to see is just that constant improvement of us getting better.
Yep. So, this could do a whole lot for the team. But we'll see. It's going to be a hard game to pull out. So we've got to play our best.
Yeah, it's going to be a damn tough game, but it'll be we have the talent to do it. Yeah. We have what we need to win this game. So we just need to go out and they need to execute and do it.
Yeah. All right, Luke. We've got some fan questions. You want to do fan questions first, or you want predictions first?
Let's do the predictions first.
Okay, because I don't have mine.
Idaho right now. Let's just
you go first because I don't have mine. Like I'm still debating. No.
I'll roll through this real quick. So, like we said in the polls, coaches poll we were 10th, media poll we were 16th. The Versus app put us up to 9th again. So we rose in the Versus app again, their poll. And I want to get their stupid score out of the way first. So they picked us to lose last week. Well, they're picking us to lose again this week. So Versus app has us losing to Idaho 32-14. So that's a little bigger than I thought it would be, but you know what? Metrics only work in baseball. So their metrics are for baseball. So
I love it.
I'll give you my prediction. So here's my prediction for the game.
Okay.
It's going to be close.
Okay.
Griz pull it off. Griz 28, Idaho 24.
Oh. Okay. Oh, man.
We can do fan questions if you're not ready for yours yet. And then
I keep on going back and forth because I do believe we could win this game. But if we don't play it 100% our best, it's not going to,
we have to ball out to win.
We have to ball out to win.
Have to.
I'm gonna wear my maroon goggles, and I'm gonna say Oh.
You don't have to. Don't let me talk you into it. If you want to pick those jerks from Idaho, you sure can.
I'm going to say 31-28.
Griz?
Griz.
All right. All right. I like it. 31-28.
31-28.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
I like it. I like that score too. I'll take either one.
So what's the, do you know, I want to look up what's the over under
and spread. I haven't seen it drop yet. I was looking earlier. I didn't see it. So there's a Montana site on Twitter that or X or whatever it's called now that usually drops it on Wednesday or Thursday, but I haven't seen it drop yet this week.
Okay, so I'm not a great person to probably look this up, but it says Montana, Idaho 136.5. That can't be right.
Here, let's just see. Let me see if I can get the Vegas spread on it real quick.
That says River Casino, but I don't know what that is.
Versus Idaho.
Oh, it's basketball. That one's basketball. That was probably basketball. Sorry, guys. I'm like 136. What the hell?
Okay, so right now, that can't be right.
It might be pulling up basketball scores.
Oh, maybe it is because I was like, we're favored by 4.5.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, you're right. Like, what the hell? I don't know. Well, let's get into the we can get into the fan questions. I'll still try to look here and see if I can get it pop up on Twitter or something. Oh, that's 22. It says 10-9. Yeah. Like I said, they'll post it later this week. It just might not be out yet.
It might not be out yet.
Because they kind of wait for like start of the betting to start, and then things to. They may just not have it out yet.
All right, you ready for questions, man?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Griz fans from Griz. Luke, as a former D lineman, are you seeing anything schematically from the O lines of our last three opponents that would explain our lack of sacks?
Okay, I talked about this earlier a little bit.
Okay.
It's not so much the O-line play; it's the fact that the quarterback's getting the ball out of his hands so fast. We don't have enough time to get there. And now, here's the other thing with our defensive line, it is set up more to take up those blockers and allow the guys like Riley Wilson to get through and get sacked. So he's our Pat O'Connell, that we had. He's that same position. So that's the guy we're going to be looking to get sacks and stuff. If Governor's getting sacks or now we got Cashman back and stuff, that means that they're taking their double teams and busting through and getting through them.
Yeah.
Really, this defense design is for those D linemen to really take it up and then get up the field. But like I said, Hastings was getting the ball out so fast, we didn't have time to get him sacked.
Yep.
And then weeks prior, we were just arm tackling and doing dumb things. So I was impressed with Cashman, the little bit he was in there. His hand movement looked great. He was getting his hands and working them hard off the blocks and getting around them. So I'm imagining he's going to play more this week.
I would hope so. Just to really
I would think so. I think they were just trying to ease him back into it after being hurt. So I'm really hoping that we get some sacks this week. Or again, like I said, if we can't get the sack, at least get there and hit him. Like no legal stuff, but like if you're there pounding him right as soon as the ball's getting released, he's going to start thinking about it. He's going to more happy feet and stuff. So
exactly,
if we could get to him, whether it's Riley or Cash or any of our guys, that'd be great.
Well, and especially with what we're doing on the back end of our defense with playing more zone and dropping our linebackers, I think it's going to be really important to get that pressure so that the wild throws are off one leg or off your back foot where they're not going to be as accurate. Those are those 50-50 balls where we can go up and get it as well. So absolutely. Yeah. If we can get him throwing off his back foot and things like that, it's going to really make a big difference. All right. Our next question from Du Bois' mom. My only questions are as follows. You will probably end up discussing them before you get to the questions and answer part. Other than cleaning up the penalties and turnovers, what do each of you see as the keys to getting in a win against the Vandals in Moscow? And I think we went over these, but we'll repeat them again for you. I have them written down. I think we kind of both said the same thing with being able to get some pressure on them and making it a little uncomfortable, making sure that we kind of run the ball and make sure that the time of possession is kind of flipped. And then I also said, making sure that we win the field possession in the turnover battle. And then I know you said, Luke, winning or doing your 111th.
Yeah, our defense just needs to do their 111th and do their assignment because of the fact that they have so many weapons. Where we could lose or have issues is if someone doesn't do their job, and that's going to leave someone open. And they're Jerry Rice Award winning Giovanni McCoy will find those guys if we let them open. So on defense, we just need to do our assignment, stop them, and then on offense, just pound the ball and run the clock and flip their game onto them is really, I think, the key for us to win.
Yeah. The next question I'm kind of looking up because I know we had I heard it last year, but the question is here. I was looking it up while you're talking. It says, also, the Griz seem to be kind of snake bit when playing on the road in big games, i.e., for example, the last road game against Eastern Washington, which was on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Does this win at Davis give them the confidence to overcome this, or do we then implode again on national TV? Well, there was that. I know we were like, we had a losing record on playing on ESPN.
What about
ESPN2?
About the Washington game? We kicked their ass, and that was
but that wasn't on. I think he was getting at the ESPN. Like that wasn't on ESPN. That was on the Pac-12 network.
Still national TV.
It's still national TV, yeah. But I think that one of the things is that on ESPN2 or ESPN,
so with
we had a losing record.
Eastern Washington game, we were playing the red turf, and if I remember right, was it Cam, our quarterback?
Yeah, Cam Lumber.
He got hurt at the end there.
Yeah,
and I think we had Chris Brown in all of a sudden. And he had to chuck it up. So and we were in that game right to the end. So one thing I got to say is, like, let's say Clifton has to come out for some reason. I feel pretty confident Vidlac to be able to come in and do something.
I do too.
This is the one time where I'm actually okay. We got another quarterback that I think is damn good too. So that really changes things. And we have a stable running back. So if one of them decides that they don't feel good or need to come out for a little bit, well, next man up. I mean, Osmo and Gilman are just killing it, and we got X back there that's doing a good job. And Childs, he's been kicking ass out there on special teams.
He's been doing amazing.
Great on special teams. So, I'm glad that he's kind of found a role to do they found something for him to do too, not just sit there and back up everything. But the fact that he's a special teams player, that means we got 4 running backs sitting there ready to go. So, what an opportunity we have to flip that narrative and go out there and kick their ass on ESPN2 and again make everybody see that we can play on the big stage.
Want to give a shout out to Ski Bum. He doesn't have a question, but he's just given us some praise and some nice thoughts.
Oh, cool.
But wanted to shout out to him. Thanks for listening. Listening to the pod, and thanks for the review of the game. Maybe the 90 degrees heat first half helps explain the improved defense. Second half, the decision making for the QB play at the end. Just trying to keep him standing till the end and not have a sub. Not interviewed post game. Probably took a while to rehydrate.
Are they talking about Clifton not getting interviewed?
I don't remember. So,
because I think they interviewed Fonts after the game.
They interviewed Fonts, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, Fonts was the player of the game too. Yeah. So I'm sure that they just
big Sky player of the week. I mean, he killed it out there. So,
yep. This is that was from Griz CC 1979. So thank you for that. This is Putter, I think. With the number of former QBs on this staff, do you think they will be able to continue to work with McDowell to help him with his passing?
Yes. I've already seen improvement.
I've seen improvement too.
He's definitely improving. There's still misses.
Yeah.
But thank goodness we have some good receivers too, because they're doing back catches. I mean, there's times they're having to be good receivers, but he's improving week to week.
He is.
He's going to get better, especially since we're keeping him playing out there.
And see, I think he's improving. Is he going to become a drop back passer? No, that's not what he is. He's a run first quarterback. So to continue to work on to make him better with passing, is he going to pass it for 30 times? No, I hope not. If you're passing him 30 times, that's probably not something you're going to be winning that game for. Do I have confidence in developing a QB? That's another question that I don't know, just because we haven't really developed one within for a while. So do I see McDowell getting better? Yes. Do I think he will continue to get better as a passer? I think so. I don't think he's going to be a Vidlac. I still think Vidlac is a better passer.
Yeah, he's a better natural thrower.
Yeah. Sure. So I think I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question, Putter, but that's what I think.
The one thing about McDowell too is we can play to his strengths. Like, okay, sure, he's not the greatest passer, but look what we have. We have Junior Bergen, we got Keelan White, we got Aaron Fonts, who do great if you can get them the ball in space.
Yep.
And so you don't have to throw the ball 50 yards down the field.
Yeah.
If you just get those guys in space and doing slant routes and little outs and stuff or screens, let them go, because they have the skills to make people miss. And so let's do that. Get the ball out quick, get it to those guys, and let them do their thing.
And ultimately, and this is hard to say, but for some reason, the line reacts better to McDowell. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's just, hey, they like to run block a lot more than they like to pass block, but it's not something that no one else can see. Like, you see it pretty drastically. They respond better to him. Now, is that just because he's young and he needs a little bit more work? Is it young where he just Vidlac needs to get more of a more boisterous kind of take leadership role? I don't know. But the way that you see and you watch these games, they respond better to him. Yeah. And so right now, what makes us a better team is you have to have your line respond and you have to have your line block. And so it just makes him have that position.
It feels like Clifton's taking that leadership role. He's grabbing it. And, we saw it in the previous game when the helmet popped off and he was jumping up and was all fired up. It was like against Idaho State. I'm like, oh boy, there it is. That's what we're looking for. That same it factor that Snead had, where it was like, I'll smack you in the mouth too. And he's that way. Like, he's wanting to hit and push forward. And like, I saw him like calling guys out a little bit and stuff. And, you need that guy that's going to be that leader for the team and pull them together. And he's starting to take that role. I'm noticing that, and I love seeing it, because that could blossom into a whole nother thing, and he could take control of that offense, and we could see a lot more good things out of him and the whole offense.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, I believe that was our last question. So, hey, everyone that gave us questions and this gave us some nice thoughts as well. We appreciate it. Thanks for the questions. Keep on listening. Keep on giving us those questions you guys have. And man, we've got an 8 o'clock. If you're on Montana time or Mountain time, 8 o'clock start. 8:30. Sorry, gosh, 8:30. Yeah, good Lord.
Even later.
8:30. Man, that's gonna be a long game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like the Pac-12 after dark.
It is.
It's like grab a cocktail, get your popcorn, and
man,
Griz football for the little brown Stein. I want that damn Stein back. It's like,
I do too.
Just pissed me off last year when they're holding it up, and that was like the picture that they had of Eck all year long was him holding the damn stein and watching.
Oh yeah.
Let's just return the favor.
Well, and I'm looking at like one thing that I wanted to kind of look at is what other games are going to be going on at this point, and that's what I'm trying to look up right now because
like that at night, that at that time,
yeah, because
so
8:30, I think that there's not going to be that many games.
No, there's not a whole lot of games. I mean, that late. It's here. I'm almost there. You got my
Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Gap. So at that time,
9 o'clock.
Yeah, San Diego State, Hawaii.
Yep.
Boise State, Colorado State.
Yep.
And the UCLA Oregon State game will just be getting over probably.
So you've got, it's basically Mountain West.
So I mean, really, yeah, the Mountain West is playing, and a lot of time, I mean, those games finishing up, you're going to Montana, Idaho, and like if people like, so here's one thing I do a lot. I look at the scores and see what game looks good, and then I jump to that game. I'm like, oh, that game looks like it sucks, and so, there's a lot of Griz fans,
Well, and you might get like Auburn LSU play at 5 o'clock. That game's probably getting over around 7:30.
Yeah,
you could probably get, or maybe even 8 o'clock. You could be probably getting some of that SEC.
Yeah, well, and
teams with that one.
There's no Pac-12 after dark that weekend. The Pac-12 game or Pac-2 for our friends there at Washington State. There's a lot of Washington State fans that are Griz fans. Well, they're going to be watching at 5 o'clock the Arizona Washington State game on the Pac-12 network. Yep. As soon as that game's over, they're all going to be switching over to Montana to watch Montana beat Idaho. Yeah,
because after 5 o'clock, the last ESPN game's at 5, and then you've got CBS, SN, NBC, Peacock. You have an ABC game at 5:30. You've got the Fox game of the week at UCLA, Oregon State at 6.
Yeah, well then they got ESPNU. UAB versus UTSA.
Yep, and
we beat them out for the ESPN2.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because they know.
Now that's at the Alamo Dome too.
Yeah, we beat them out. So
that's sweet.
And it's a rivalry game. We got the Little Brown Stein. This is back forever.
Yep.
I was just couldn't remember when the first one was. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Oh, so one thing,
1803.
1903,
120 years ago.
So I've got.
It was the first.
So, meeting. When this is an Idaho State, I totally forgot. Idaho State won the national championship.
Yeah, in 81.
81. That I have one of the game balls from when Montana beat them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a sign.
The one loss they had that year was when Marty Morningwig was quarterbacking for us, and we beat him. We're the one team to beat him that year. Was the Griz.
Yeah, so I have one of the game balls with the game score on it.
That's awesome.
My grandfather is in the Hall of Fame, so he got one of the game balls. So yeah,
I'm gonna need a photo of that because that's
there. You go.
I want to. That's way cool.
Yeah, man. Well, guys, like always, man, we can't express our gratitude for you guys listening. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Get a hold of us. We want to hear from you no matter what. We love talking Griz sports, and it doesn't matter when. So
if you're watching on YouTube and you see my awesome shirt,
that shirt is amazing.
Kitty, hit me up. They are for sale. Jody, this gal, is selling them on Facebook. So they have them in this color, and
show them the other one.
We got the old school one too for those of you watching online in the maroon.
That's badass.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Oh my gosh!
You got the FTC tattoo. Freaking! I saw that. I was like, I gotta have them. Give me both.
There you go. All right, man. Well, guys, like always, we'll see you next week, and go Griz.
Heck yeah, go Griz.